Right, literally picking like right up. I didn't even move. This would be like what, video 9. We're continuing with Spokes' report, and this is starting Russell's account of the day of the accident. Okay, you ready? Mr. Peterson advised that Miss Wassilishin left work at about 5:30 p.m. and that he left work at about 11 p.m. Mr. Peterson advised that there was no problems at work between them. Mr. Peterson advised that a Susie gave him a ride home from work. Upon arriving home, he gave Steffi a kiss and then went to take a shower. After taking a shower, 11:15 to 11:30, he began to talk with Stephanie, and she began to tell him about a 2-hour telephone conversation that she had with an ex-boyfriend, Craig Daly. Okay, so right here he's already bringing up the fact that my mom talked to my dad. He's bringing it up. Well, this is the first time he's bringing it up right away. My dad and Russell do not get along. These are the father of her 2 children. She left my dad for Russell. My dad is very hillbilly-ish. Russell is very not. Let's just say that every account they had, Russell ended with the short end of the stick. Needless to say, they didn't have a very good relationship. So, already right there, he brings up a conversation. He didn't even have to bring this up. Why? Clearly this bothers him. Why bring this up? Because he's creating the motive. He's emotional at this time, and he's stating the truth, what happened. But the thing is that I know this. My family knows this. She didn't tell him about the conversation. She wasn't going to tell him that she was leaving. It was actually, he found out. Now, this is, I don't have anything proven via documentation. Not like any of this is really proven because it's like full of bullshit. But back in the 90s, before there was, digital wiretapping, like think about Goodfellas and the big wiretaps, well, in the 90s, you can even Google it. They had stores around the malls that were called spy headquarters, and you can go and you get little spy stuff, for PIs and stuff. Well, you can even look up in 1993, you can look up how to tap a phone, and there was phone lines, and looks like a little micro cassette, and it has 2 little wires, and you just tap it into the phone line. That's how easy it is. And you just press record, and it's going to record all day, all day, all day, all day, all day, all day, all the phone calls, so it'll pick up. So I'm not sure how much he did hear. I'm not sure how much he knows, but he had been tapping the phone for a while. So, and there's a reason why. It all builds, and none of it's here. This is all his account, what he wants to know. So I'm stopping to let you know, give you some context. She had been cheating. You can ask my aunt that. My grandma would have affirmed that. Probably everybody on my mother's side and close friends, if you even attempted to look them down, would tell you that, because she was, a talker, like me. And he found out about it. And if we, I'm trying to, I know I don't know his name, but it was the man she started cheating with was, we had a dog at the time, and we didn't have a doggy door, and the dog had busted through the screen door. She thought the door was open like a dummy one day, and so we had to call a screen door guy in to come and fix it. Russell must have been working, and she was lonely, good looking, and she had a little bit of a flingy fling and got a little knocky knocked. And I know for a fact, because I was a 10-year-old, she had me at 20 years old, so you gotta think about, I knew a lot. I'm like, she would have me look at her bong. I knew where her bong was. And anyway, when she was hungover, I'd have to get her the puke bucket. I would babysit my sister. Like, she would literally leave me alone, a 9-year-old with, like, 2-year-old. I would babysit all the time. She trusted me. So when Mom had the abortion, she was bleeding. She wasn't good. I had to take care of her. So I know that, I think that was the catalyst that started the whole him spying. So he got that little recorder, and that night, my dad could tell you everything, but he won't fucking get on camera. That's why I'm trying to, like, get this to build this, as he thinks I'm insane. Maybe someone will see that there's an actual, like, cover-up story case here. See, even my dad's afraid to go on camera. But he's like, he could tell you everything. The police won't talk to him. Anyway, she was leaving, and they had talked about it that night. My dad could tell you the whole conversation. She was leaving. And the reason she had picked now was because Russell was actually packing and going, and the day after this, he was getting on a plane, and he was flying to New York for some culinary thing. And he would be gone, so it gave her the perfect opportunity to pack up the house, take the money that was in the house, because there was cash in the house, and get us the fuck out of there. And she had talked it over with Craig, and Craig was gonna, he loved my mom. Loved my mom. Stop it. And he was gonna, my dad did take responsibility for me after my mom died, so there's no doubt that my dad loved my mom and me, and he was gonna take in my sister, which was Russell's daughter. And I think that's what really made Russell snap. Not so much that Stacy was leaving Russell for my dad, because, they always kept in contact. They had a kid together. He was aware of their relationship and whatnot and stuff. But it was the fact that she was going to leave this time, and she was going to take Kay. And that's what made him. So when he got home that night, he took a shower, and when he was taking the shower, he had gone outside and unattached the micro cassette, the phone tap thingy, and went into the bathroom and listened to her phone conversations throughout the night. So he listened to her talk to Wendy, and he listened to her conversation with my dad. And he came out of the shower, and that was it. He heard that, and that was it. Anyway, where was I? Back to his lies. And this is the first time he's brought up my dad, so that was a little bit of context behind my dad. So just so you know, Mr. Peterson advised that Mr. Daly is the father of Nikki. Mr. Peterson advised that the conversation became heated over his upcoming trip to Ithaca, New York for a training course at Cornell University for 2 weeks. Mr. Peterson advised that he was not too concerned about the argument because it was not uncommon for Steffi to become upset. Steffi then got up and walked into the bedroom and came back out with the gun in her hand and states, "Russell, I'm going to shoot you," and cocks the hammer back. Mr. Peterson advised that he was sitting in the center of the couch when Steffi shot the gun. Mr. Peterson then advised that he got up off the couch and began talking with Steffi as he followed her down the hall into the bedroom. Stephanie was standing in front of the closet in the bedroom. Mr. Peterson advised that she cocked the gun back again and states, "Russell, I'm going to kill you." And Mr. Peterson then grabbed her hand and struggled a little bit. Then the gun went off and Stephanie dropped. Mr. Peterson advised that Stephanie was face down on the floor. Mr. Peterson advised that he did not believe what happened. He did not believe what happened and panicked. Mr. Peterson advised that he noticed that his daughter Christina was down the hallway. He then went into the bathroom. When he came back out, he noticed that Stephanie did not get up. Why did he go into the bathroom? He then called 911 and asked for help because he went into the bathroom and the next wife he had, another speculation because this is just what I was told, family lore and rumor, his next wife, who was Christina's first stepmom after my mom. He had many women because he's a sociopath. They all figured it out. He's so charming. He went to the bathroom and he took a shower. And then he called 911. And then he called 911 and asked for help. It should be noted, I highlighted this part too. So it should be noted that Mr. Peterson advised that while he was panicking, he rolled over Stephanie's head and then picked up the gun and put it back in the holster and placed it on the shelf. Why would you do that? After about 15 to 20 seconds, he took the gun off the shelf and laid it back down on the floor prior to calling 911. Why would you do that? Because he realized that his daughter had seen him do that. So he had to put the gun back. He's panicking and all the scenarios are going over in his head, and he realizes she already saw what happened. And no story could possibly make sense. How could he say that, she killed herself if the gun's back in the closet? So much more. There's so much more. I'm gonna cut it here.